The United States, some Chinatowns have transformed to the point that the population has fewer Chinese actually living there anymore. What's left is a tourist attraction that some say feels artificial. But for the country's largest Chinatown, there are some positive signs. Mark New reports now from San Francisco.
The largest Chinatown outside of Asia. San Francisco's Chinatown is North America's oldest Chinatown, too, established in the 1840s.
This square is where it all began. The Chinese community fought to save this neighborhood, and it's the first Chinatown in the whole country. This is it. This is where Asian Americans began, right here.
Reverend Norman Fong is the executive director of the Chinatown Community Development Center, a group that has worked tirelessly to both preserve and rebuild.
So across the street used to be the old Hall of Justice.
Unlike other Chinatowns in the U.S. which have decayed, people still live here, about 15,000 in its core, many in housing that's right on top of stores and shops. More than half live in single-room occupancy units, which stem back to the early 1900s, when America wanted Chinese laborers, but not their families. Space can be tight.
So here we are in a typical SRO.
Mrs. G shows us her 4.4 square meter living quarters, which would cost $500 to $800 per month, if not for the Community Development Center's efforts to reduce prices to about $200. This laundry room is the exact same size as a single residency occupancy unit. As you can see, I stretch my arms across. I can practically touch the walls. Believe it or not, there's a huge waiting list to get a spot in this building. Chinatown is right on the edge of San Francisco's financial district, some of the most valuable real estate in the country.
One of the biggest, scariest things is that they could take over Chinatown buildings and that we would lose our housing. We got the city to agree that keeping affordable housing is important, and that's how we have a strong Chinatown today.
Fong's group has led the charge for new housing like the International Hotel, which has 104 residential units.
Welcome.
Mr. Watt shows us his home, which is far more modern and spacious than the older housing. The streets of Chinatown are changing too. 12 of Chinatown's 31 alleys have been renovated, cleaned up, and some of them even beautified. Local teenagers created this mural and are doing much more.
Thank you.
Like following the Chinese tradition of taking care of elders and neighbors in need.
It's like a responsibility for me to help this community out.
We're like a family, we should help each other. That's why I do it.
While many other U.S. Chinatowns have become just tourist attractions, San Francisco's retains its soul. So much so that the American Planning Association recently named it one of the 10 great neighborhoods in America. Mark New, CCTV, San Francisco.